So have you ever wondered, how do credit card companies decide who should have a high credit limit and who should not? Who should get the credit limit of $500 on this credit card and who should get the credit limit of $5,000 on this credit card? Well, I know I've asked that question, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the things that credit card companies are looking for and how you can make sure to set yourself up in such a way that the credit card companies love you and want to give you a higher credit limit increase. Let's talk about that. So first off, you have to understand what it is that credit card companies are even looking for, and in order to make sure that you are setting yourself up to be able to get a higher credit limit with your credit card companies. So take a look at this graph here with me. The first thing that we see is 30% is the amount owed. What that is that's your credit utilization. For instance, if on one particular card they gave you $1,000 is your credit limit with them and you're using $500 every single month, then that means you're using 50% utilization. And it's suggested that you use at least 30% or less. So that's credit utilization. Next up is 10% new credit, and that's just simply things like new credit cards. And after that, we have 15% length of credit history. How long have you had this credit card? It's gonna mean a lot more after you've had this credit card for a year or two than it does if you've had it for a month. And so the longer you have it, the better it's gonna look for your credit score. Also, 10% is credit mix. This could mean things like a mortgage, a credit card, and an auto loan. Those are all different kinds of credit that is available to you, and it's gonna look different on your credit score. So these are what make up this 10%. And last but not least is 35% is payment history. Why I harp on this channel that you need to pay off your credit card every single month on time. At the bare minimum, make sure that you're paying the minimum payment every single month. So these are the things that are gonna set you up to be in a good position with your credit in order to be able to get a credit limit increase. There's no hacks, there's no gimmicks to be able to do this. These are real facts of what the credit card companies are looking for, and this is going to be able to help you so that you can make sure that this next step of how to practically do it is actually going to work for you. Step one is request a credit limit increase online. So you can go to your credit card company's website and say, hey, I'd like to increase my credit limit, and then they may ask you a few questions, and that's that, and then they'll let you know if you're approved or not. Now, that can work at times, but if that doesn't work, then just take your physical credit card, look on the back of that, and it's gonna have a number on the back of there, and that's their number that you can give them a call at, and you can talk to a representative and ask them for a credit limit increase. Now, you're gonna wanna have an idea of why. They're gonna ask you, just like anyone would, why do you want this credit limit increase? And you wanna just have a decent answer for that. So if you've been with them for a little while, you can bring up that fact. You can say, hey, I've been with you for a little while. I'd like to go ahead and get this credit limit increase. I think I've been a great customer of yours, and that's why I'd like to get this credit limit increase. And they say, okay, that's great, Zach. We'll give you that credit limit increase. We'll give you $3,000 more, whatever it is. Or you can also say, hey, since applying for this credit card, I've actually received more income. Because of that, they're gonna say, oh, okay, Zach, you're making X amount more dollars than you were before. Well, then that would be a good reason for us to go ahead and consider giving you more credit. So those are some options that you can use when you call them, but just go ahead and give them a call. I can't say it enough. Talking to someone physically on the phone is going to be able to help you get further if you're running into roadblocks of getting that credit limit increase. Now, next up, number 3, at times, some cards do give you a credit limit increase automatically. After 6 months, they may look at your card and say, hey, Zach is gonna be a good risk for us to go ahead and give him more of a credit limit on this particular card. That could happen, but if it doesn't, just go back to step 1 or 2 and then use those to be able to actually get that credit limit increase for sure. Tip number 4, and my favorite option, is just apply for a new credit card. And this is actually a way to be able to increase your credit limit overall. And it's also something that even if one credit card company isn't giving you more credit on that credit card, after seeing other credit card companies doing this, who knows, you may be able to circle back around after another 6 months or a year and say, hey, I've got X amount of credit now, but I'd still like your card and I'd like to go ahead and get that credit limit increased. that could be a potential option for you, and it could be something you could do. So it's important that you understand, why is it that you're wanting to increase your credit limit? If you're wanting to increase it because you're having a hard time paying just the minimum balance, or you don't have enough credit available to you and you need more credit because you need to spend more on this card, well, let me tell you, that is going to put you in a really bad position. And take it from me, I would know. I have spent over $30K in debt in credit cards at one point, and then it came to such a point where I was spending almost all of my paycheck just paying the minimum balance on my credit cards. And then I was just like, well, this is silly. I stopped paying on them, and then eventually going bankrupt. And that is definitely not something you want to do. It is something I did in my early 20s. It's something that I'll never forget. And that's why I talk about credit cards and the importance of paying them off every single month. And that's because they can be a very good help to you, but if you're not careful with them, they can really hurt you. Now, that's what you want to make sure that you're doing with this credit card. Now, if you found this helpful, I know you're also going to find my other video on how to get approved for your Chase credit card helpful. So go ahead and watch that video here. Now, thank you so much for watching this video. This has been Zach, helping you with your finances, and I'll see you next time.